Hello dear students, welcome to our Maulik video classes. Today I will take the topic non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug of B Pharm 4th semester medicinal chemistry. It is the last unit. In we cover introduction, mechanism, physiology of pain, classifications and therapeutic usage of NSAID. This term NSAID is simply called non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. This NSAID produce an anti-inflammatory action, antipyretic action and analgesic actions. It means it reduces the fever, that it reduces the enhanced body temperature up to normal. The body temperature of a human being is 98.4 degree Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. So this NSAID that contains antipyretic property. So antipyretic property means antipyretic property are those property in which increased body temperature comes up to normal, or you can say antipyretics are those drugs which reduce the body temperature up to normal. Second property, that is the analgesics, it means they block the pain sensation. And third property, that is the anti-inflammatory, it means they abolish or they diminish the inflammation. They reduce the inflammation. Now what is inflammation? Inflammation is derived from Latin word inflammation, which means to set on fire. It is a complex biological response of body tissue to harmful stimuli such as pathogens, damaged cells or irritants. This complex process involves several immune cells, blood vessels and molecular mediators. Now the importance of inflammation. Inflammation occurs in body to eliminate the initial causes of cell injury, clear out necrotic cells and tissue damage. Signs of inflammation. First is the pain. Due to local pain arises due to local release of enzymes and increased tissue pressure. Second sign is redness. Redness arises due to local vessel dilation. Third is the heat. Heat arises due to local vessel dilation. Fourth is the swelling. Swelling arises due to influx of plasma proteins and phagocytes into tissue space. Now the loss of function due to lack of oxygen or nutrients and insufficient blood to the area. Basic fundamentals of NSAID. The drug which comes under NSAID, as already we discussed, they cover the analgesic, antipyretic and anti-inflammatory actions. These drugs are without steroidal ring. They doesn't contain the steroidal moiety. NSAID do not depress CNS, do not produce physical dependence and have no abuse liability and are weak analgesic. Instead, morphine show all the characteristics and Maulik and this morphine also produce addiction. So that is called drug of abuse. Means it causes abuse liability. But this non-narcotics, that is the NSAID, they do not cause abuse liability and they do not cause drug addiction. Therefore, it is also called non-narcotics, non-opioids or aspirin-like analgesics. Mainly NSAID act on peripheral pain mechanisms, but sometimes they also act in CNS to raise the pain threshold. Mechanism action of NSAID, there are several mechanisms. First is the biochemical mechanism, in which we cover inhibition of hydrolytic enzymes, inhibition of arachidonic metabolism. Third is inhibition of cyclooxygenase, that is called COX, and lipoxygenase, that is called the LOX pathway. Fourth is the inhibition of free radical generation, cellular or immunologic mechanism. Next is the cellular or immunologic mechanism. In first, inhibition of polymorphonuclear lymphocytes. Second is monocyte modification. Third is action through lymphocyte. In biochemical mechanism, first is inhibition of hydrolytic enzyme. This concept is related with lysozymes which contain hydrolytic enzyme and participate in process of inflammation. NSAID inhibited the lysozymes to release of hydrolytic enzymes. Next is the inhibition of arachidonic metabolism. Prostaglandins play an important role in erythema, edema, pain and fever. Most of NSAID inhibit the formation of prostaglandins and leukotrienes, which are metabolic product of arachidonic acid and are responsible for inflammation. NSAID inhibit both the enzymes COX and LOX. COX enzyme is also called prostaglandin synthetase. Now the inhibition of free radical generations. Number of free radicals species generated during the biosynthesis of prostaglandins, which was inhibited by the NSAID. Cellular or immunologic mechanisms, inhibition of polymorphonuclear leukocytes. Polymorphonuclear is the first cell to arrive at site of inflammation and NSAID. Restrict their arrival at site of inflammation. Monocyte modification. Monocytes are central cell in inflammatory process. NSAID modify the function of movement and function of monocytes. Action through lymphocytes. The second line drug as penicillamine, gold shots, and dapsone used in treatment of inflammation. Lymphocyte may influence chronic inflammation. Now we understand the physiology of pain, that is the source of pain, that is the chemical or thermal. Suppose there are pain receptors. They are also called nociceptors. They discharge the impulse. They discharge the impulse. Now this discharge the impulse. They show electrical activity to spinal cord and onto the brain. Now this so in brain electrical activity becomes the experience of pain. So as a result, pain is arises. Classification of as this NSAID, we have acidic and classical. In the four category: non-selective COX inhibitors, selective COX inhibitors, preferential COX inhibitors, analgesic, and antipyretics. Classification of acidic or classical classification: non-selective, selective, preferential, analgesic, and antipyretics. Now there is trick to remember, that is the SOAAPP. First S means salicylate derivative. The drugs come under in this category: sodium salicylate, aspirin, Salol. Second O means oxycam derivatives. Drugs comes tinoxicam, paroxicam. Third is A, that is called aryl acetic acid derivatives. That is called the Solendec, indomethacin. Next is the A, that is called the aryl acid derivatives, diclofenac, aceclofenac. Third is aryl acetic acid, Solendec, indomethacin. Fourth is aryl acetic acid derivatives, diclofenac, aceclofenac. Fifth is propionic acid derivatives. Example is naproxen, ibuprofen. Next is P, pyrazolone derivatives, phenylbutazone, oxyphenbutazone. Next is the phenamates, mefenamic acid, maclophenamic acid. Next is the selective COX-2 inhibitors. Example are the celecoxib, radicoxib, etocoxib, pericoxib. Next is the preferential COX-2 inhibitors, nimesulide, meloxicam, nabumidone. Next is the analgesic and antipyretics, paramethylphenol derivatives, paracetamol. Next is the parazolone derivatives. Example of drugs are metamizole, propionidazole, phenazone. Next is the benzoxazosine derivatives, nifopam. Next is the salicylic acid derivatives. Example the aspirin. Now the aspirin, it is the prototype over-the-counter drug. Aspirin is the acetyl salicylic acid. After administration in the body, it converts rapidly into the salicylic acid, which is responsible for most of the action. Mainly, it decreases the body temperature and pain threshold. Regular use of or high consumption of aspirin leads to death or other side effects. This is the mode of action of this NSAID. This arachidonic acid that converts into prostaglandin by the enzyme cyclooxygenase. This prostaglandins again divided into two, PGG2 and PGS2. This PGG2 category that is responsible for protecting the gastric mucosa. It is also responsible for platelets and kidney functions. This PGS2 that is mainly responsible for causing fever and pain and also inflammation. So this NSAID drugs acts by inhibiting this enzyme cyclooxygenase. Suppose an example of NSAID like the ibuprofen, they block the enzyme cyclooxygenase. As a result, arachidonic acid will not convert into prostaglandins and fever, pain and inflammatory conditions will be prohibited. They will not arise. Now finally we conclude the therapeutic usage of NSAID. These drugs are commonly used in treatment of fever, that is called the antipyretic action. Used in treatment of inflammation, that is called the anti-inflammatory action. Used in treatment of pain, that is called the analgesic action. Also these are used in treatment of headache, toothache, back pain, arthritis, that is the rheumatic arthritis, osteoarthritis and ankylosing arthritis. That is also used to cure the minor injury in which pain occurs. It is also used to treat the other musculoskeletal disorders in which there is much more pain arises. So thank you very much for watching. So I request you please like and share this video. Next time we will come forward to take the next video that is more informative and according to your course. Thank you very much.